People, it is my distinct
We're here.
honor of welcoming you back to episode number 2 of Ramblers Radio, being recorded the night of Monday, February 12th. I did fulfill my promise of uploading episode 1 by Friday. That did happen
We
on
did.
YouTube. On Spotify, I wasn't able to upload it until Sunday, and that's our bad on that. But we were able to get it done. So, we are going to move on. Code, let's do it around the horde. How we doing? How we doing?
All right, we're doing great, man. I'm doing great. I had a 3-day weekend for Lincoln's birthday. Shout out to my boy. Um, yeah, it's been a great weekend. We started off the pod, and we're here.
He's
How
shouting
about
out
yourself?
Lincoln, but he's not shouting out Patrick Mahomes. I'll say that.
Oh,
Anyway,
definitely not. That game was something. Something.
yeah. In case you guys don't know, Code is a San Francisco 49ers fan, which
Yeah.
is fortunate most times and unfortunate in very few times. Last night is one of the most unfortunate times. And
Yeah.
being a fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I was rooting for the 49ers simply because they beat the Detroit Lions who beat us. So
Yeah.
I was on Code's side,
Yeah,
but that
man.
ended
It
up
was
not
tough.
happening.
Our
Um,
defense was not defensing, but
yeah, yeah. But
yeah.
moving on from that, let's get into our topics. We'll go ahead and start out like we've done before and how we continue to start. We plan on continuing to start episodes out. Code, what's been going on in Star Wars? Tell me, tell me.
Okay, so this week has been a huge week for Star Wars news. It's flown under a lot of people's radars. Um, but here we go. I've got my detective paper out here. So first off, Acolyte news. Not that anybody cares, but according to Collider, the release window is summer of 2024. So we're looking at like a very, very soon for that release, which is surprising. I was expecting it to be a little further out, but that's the rumor as of now. Just take it with a grain of salt, but that's what's going on. And next, Bad Batch. As you guys know, this show's releasing on February 21st, 3-episode premiere. And it will run from February 21st to May 1st, I believe. And we got the episode titles.
Yeah.
I could run them off for you real
So
quick.
so what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm actually gonna put the list of the episode titles in the middle of the screen right here when I get to editing, and we're just gonna Code and I are just gonna pull it up on our separate screens.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about them. So
So an interesting thing
yep.
about the season, there's only 15 episodes, which I believe that's a bit shorter than it has been, unless I'm tripping.
I have a
Um,
I have a speculation about that. I think it's only 15 episodes because I think episode 15 is gonna be like the the series premiere of where it's gonna be like an extra long.
super
Is
long.
is my
Yeah, that
is
would make
my
sense.
theory on that. But yeah,
That'd be a good theory. So
that's
you
what I'm
wanna
thinking.
you wanna read these off, or what do you want to do?
Yep. So series premiere, we have the first 3 episodes, which are titled "Confined," "Paths Unknown," and "Shadows of Tantus." Then we have episode 4 titled "A Different Approach," episode 5 titled "The Return," episode 6 and 7 together titled "Infiltration and Extraction," episode 8 titled "Bad Territory," episode 9 The Harbinger, episodes 10 and 11 together. So what I've noticed is that there's no real like mid-season drop.
Yeah,
There's two
they're like
episode
thirds.
there there's 2 episodes per week in 6 and 7 and then 10 and 11, which I think is pretty
Yeah,
interesting. Probably to cue that there's going to be like 2 episode arcs within them. We got episode 10, Identity Crisis, and then episode 11, Point of No Return. I think those are the most intriguing titles.
those get me going. I
Yeah.
think we can talk about that later, but
And then episode
yeah,
12, Juggernaut, and then episode 13, Into the Breach, episode 14, Flash Strike, and then the series finale of the Bad Batch titled "The Cavalry has arrived." Because I
There you
really
go.
like that title because the
Yeah,
first line that any of the Bad Batch says in season 7 was Wrecker saying the cavalry has arrived. So fitting title for
there it
sure.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So moving on. So like we said, 3 episode premiere, and there's going to be two-part premieres, not premieres, but releases. Um, and then the last thing to talk about. Unfortunately, we can't play it on the screen, but you guys can go and look it up after watching this. There was a little TV spot clip, whatever you want to call it, a Bad Batch clip that came out. Really good clip. The animation looked great. Basically, if you don't want spoilers, fast forward 15 seconds. But it's not really spoilers. Crosshair and Omega are talking about escaping, and Crosshair's a little hesitant, and as he usually is, and Omega's optimistic as she always is. So that'll be interesting. Go watch the clip; it's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so
A
moving
couple
on.
a couple
Yeah, go
things
ahead.
about the clip before we go on. People like Star Wars insiders themselves were saying that the clip ended up getting released because the I guess the Star Wars inside team was feared that it would get leaked anyway. Uh,
Hmm,
and then I'm thinking the first episode is titled "Confined," so I think that might be a clip of the very first episode of the show, which would be an
possible.
interesting start of the season for sure. Um,
Either that or the third episode that has named what's it called?
Shadow of
Something on
Tantus,
Tantus.
Shadows of
Yeah.
Tantus. Yeah,
So one of those two probably. So moving on, Andor season 2 has officially finished production. So it's going to be moving into post production. So hopefully we get that show. Like winter this year would be great. If not, we'll definitely have it by next year. So
yeah,
they're done filming into post production. And one more thing with Andor, the actor for Director Krennic, I'm probably going to butcher his name, Ben Mendelsohn. I don't know if I said that right.
Mendelssohn. Yeah,
Um, but he confirmed that Krennic will not be in the show. But I want you to take that with a grain of salt because every actor whose identity is a secret in a movie always tells the press they're not in it. Infamously, the one everybody knows is the No Way Home stuff where Toby and Andrew were just insisting they weren't in the movie. Um, but I'm inclined to believe this, but it's just another piece of info that's out there. He's
right.
reportedly not in the show. And so our final piece of information for this week is the Phantom Menace. Actually, we're taking a blast in the past. Phantom Menace is coming back to select theaters for a couple days in May, from May 3rd to May 5th. So go if you have a theater near you. You could look up the information on that. I don't know if there's any. I couldn't find any information on the actual theaters that are going to be playing this, but it is going to be out there. Most likely, I'm assuming in North America at least. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, go watch Phantom Menace.
Have fun, fellas. Phantom Menace.
Yeah,
Your boy is not going to theaters to watch Phantom Menace, but you guys
it's
have fun.
working. Yeah, you got. That's all you
Yeah.
guys. We'll save you 2 tickets.
Yeah. Anyways, great talk with the news code. Very excited. Bad Batch season 3 is only 9 days away. We will be
Yep.
definitely talking about that. We will be talking about the premiere, not next episode, but the episode after that for sure, is when
Yep.
we will be doing it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the main topic. The main topic of our discussion for this episode is going to be our top 20 characters list. Now,
Woohoo.
guess what, guys? These lists are biased. So if you don't agree, piss off. No, I'm playing.
Well, yeah. Basically, this is nothing to be
But yeah,
like debated
ranking
about.
ranking of characters within movies and television is a very relative topic in terms
Yeah.
of people. Some people rate characters differently and on different scales than
Yeah.
others. But what Code and I have noticed ever since we've started, like, podcasting and stuff, is that we usually share some of the same opinions, and that
Yeah.
we usually be on the same page as each other.
If you if you do go back and look at the Smoke and Code Star Wars show episodes, that first episode was a episode ranking of live action Star Wars episodes, and our lists were almost identical in the ones we included.
Yeah, the top of the top. Yeah. So before we start listing off our lists, let's go ahead and go over the criteria of what we rank these characters on. For me personally, I rank them off aesthetic, aka how cool is this character. I rank them off relatability, and I rank them off their impact in Star Wars. Is what
Yeah.
and I try to balance out those three, because if I ranked them in aesthetic, then number one would probably be someone like, Jango Fett or Cad Bane. If I ranked them off relatability, I would do like, Han Solo,
Anakin,
and then if we're talking about importance to Star Wars, then the top are like Anakin and Luke Skywalker, So I tried to balance them out the best I can. But yeah, and I also, the bias, so yeah.
Yeah. So for me, very similar to you, the characters I pick need to like be like somewhat cool, because that's obviously going to be a factor, for liking them. But for me, a lot of the things I considered were, like character, just like how I felt with their overall arc and what they were given to do, in these projects. And for that reason, I did have to cut a couple of characters I really wanted on this list. But again, this is a top 20 list, so that sounds like a lot, but this is like the cream of the crop. So yeah, for me, it's mainly just how the character left an impact on me, and like you said, aesthetic.
Yep. So we're gonna go over our honorable mentions, which is a suggestion that Code made, and I definitely agreed with. How I'm gonna list the characters for you guys to see, we're gonna list them 5 at a time, and then since I'm on the left side of the screen, Code's on the right side of the screen, I'm gonna put him on my left side, and I'm gonna put Code's list on his right side, so that that would be convenient. But I won't be able to do like all 20 at a time, because that'll just be too much.
Yeah.
So yep, my honorable mentions. I have 5 of them, because we're doing them in groups.
Me
Groups
too.
of 5.
Me too.
Yep. I have some. I think there might be one character on here that you might have in your top 20, but I'll list them off. I have Luthen Rail, Jyn Erso, Boba Fett, Hunter, and Cad Bane in my honorable mentions. What about you?
So I couldn't decide. I actually have 6 honorable mentions. This first one might be surprising, but my honorable mentions are C-3PO, Plo Koon, Ezra Bridger, Jango Fett, Heck, and Fives.
Okay, I like those. I like those for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My main reasonings for these, and yours might be similar, is that these characters just don't have like as much as a like impact within Star Wars, and they also don't have as much of a really cultural impact either, except maybe Boba Fett. But like Boba Fett's kind of just always been a side character, and whenever he was a main character, he wasn't really portrayed in the greatest light. So that was just kind of my criteria about it. All the 20 characters, at least all the other 20 characters that are above them, at least have some like key elements that just puts them over them for me, for sure.
Yeah, so for me, honestly, I had an initial list of like 35, and I had to cut it down, obviously. But I would have to agree with you. I did put C-3PO in my honorable mentions just because I really wanted a spot for somebody else, and it sucks. But the thing with C-3PO, I just don't think he left enough of an impact on me. I think they treated him terribly in the sequels. I'm just going to say right now, I have no sequel characters in my top 20. Cry about it. No one's going to cry about
Agreed.
it.
Me neither.
Go cry about it. So that's my main thing. It's just my honorable mentions are just the ones that are really, really good, but I really couldn't justify kicking them above.
With that being said, we had a little bit of a cutout, so I'll go ahead and edit that part out. But let's go ahead and get in our top 20. So we're going to list 5 at a time, starting from the bottom, going to the top. I will go first, and then Code will go. And then I will just list off 5 and then basically explain why they're above honorable mentions, but also explain why they're not above other certain characters, even though without spoiling the list, that might be a little hard to do. But we'll go ahead and get started. My first 5 at number 20, I have Thrawn. At number 19, I have Captain Rex. 18, I have Yoda. 17, I have Balin Skull. And 16, I have Kanan Jarrus. So
Awesome.
all of these characters, in my opinion, have some sort of key element that makes them very interesting characters. And for example, in Thrawn's case, Thrawn is nowhere near a force sensitive being, but he's an expert tactician on the villain side, which is something that we never really saw before he came as a Star Wars. Even if he was created in books in the 90s, even though that's considered legends nowadays, he was
Yeah.
still able to be portrayed in canon in a very interesting way that fit him, in my opinion. Same goes for a character like Balin Skull, like a Jedi, like a Jedi disbandant that also didn't really necessarily turn to the dark side. He kind of just had his own certain view of why he had a distaste for the Jedi per se, and that not only does he think that the Jedi were distasteful, but he also tries to make a balance, but also that also serves himself in a way, which is sort of dark side but not necessarily in a manner of the Sith. And others, Yoda at 18 might be a surprise for a lot of people, but the reason why I didn't rank Yoda so high is because we don't really have. He's sort of just a mystery character as far as his background. He's just kind of there in the Phantom Menace as the Grand Master of the Jedi Order, but we don't know much of how he came up to there besides he's 900, so it makes sense that he's such a high ranking Jedi official. But yeah, we got guy like Captain Rex. Honestly, a very relatable character in my opinion. Even though he's a high military commander, as someone who just wants to fulfill their duty, but then once they realize that the duty is wrong, then he tries to make his own way in the galaxy, which is what we're seeing in the Bad Batch currently, which I like a lot. But yeah, let me compare it to your bottom 5. Let's go and do it.
All right. So excuse the dog barking in the background. I have terriers. So
I don't hear
my
it, so I
bottom.
think you're good.
Okay, great. It's not picking up. Okay, so bottom 5. For me, my number 20 slot is gonna be Chewbacca. Number 19, I know. Number 19, Leia. Number 18, Mando. Number 17, Dooku. And number 16, Palpatine. So,
Oh, interesting.
for me, this is gonna. I think I might get a lot of people mad with this list with how low some of these guys are. Um, but for me, Leia personally. Oh, I'll start with Chewbacca just because he's at the bottom. Chewie, I always feel bad for Chewie because he's always kind of treated as the fourth wheel in the group, and he never really gets to be officially part of the group. He's always kind of just there. And by the three, I mean Luke, Han, Leia. He's kind of just there, and I feel that he doesn't really get enough to do to warrant being higher. But he's so iconic, and I still think he's a great character to where I think he deserves to be in this list. When it comes to Leia, one, I don't think she wasn't very great in the sequels. I don't like how she flew through space. I think that did a disservice for resurrecting her in episode 9. It feels wrong morally.
Yeah.
And in the original trilogy, I mean, she's great. She's one of the pioneer, um, like women's characters in cinema. Um, and I mean, she's great. I mean, she's 19. She's in this list. I just think there's a lot of other characters that edge her out for me. Um, and then number 18, which is going to be Din Djarin. I love Mando. I mean, just it shows you how good of a character he is that he's only been around for what 3 years or 4 years, and he's already come up into my top 20. I think he really had some great character development. I don't think his third season of the show was that great, but I think he's a great character, and whenever we see him, it's great. So I think he deserves this. Um, my number 17 is Dooku, Count Dooku, Darth Tyrannus, whatever you want to say. Dooku's a phenomenal character. I love what they did in Tales of the Jedi. But despite that, I think he doesn't get enough development. I mean, taking away Tales of the Jedi, he doesn't have very much going for him. But I think his character did get fleshed out a little bit more, and I think he's also just super interesting with just as a character, being a Sith, and just his fall, and I think he's a good character. Next up, Palpatine. For some, this might be higher. For some, this might be lower. He is the main villain of the Skywalker saga, and I think he's great. I mean, he's a mastermind, in my opinion, smarter than Thrawn. There's not much to say. Everybody said everything they need to know about Palpatine, so I think
Yeah.
we can end it there.
All right, we'll go move on. My number 15, I have Harrison Dula. Number 14,
Interesting.
I have Padme Amidala. 13, I have Count Dooku. 12, I have Din Djarin, and 11, I have Palpatine. So the so I want to start with Palpatine because I thought your argument for Palpatine being low was pretty intriguing. The reason why Palpatine is sort of in the middle and also like on the bottom half, Palpatine is a master tactician that we did see before anybody else. He's the mastermind that created all the evil in the saga and the Skywalker saga itself. But the reason why I don't think he's a top 10 character is because he doesn't really have
No character
anything.
development.
He doesn't have anything that's compelling to the audience as far as
Yeah.
sympathy. He's kind of just a pure evil character.
Yep.
Um,
I've
which
meant
I
to touch on that.
I think is I think it's something that makes really good villains. I also say that's also why Thrawn is very low on my list for me at number 20 is because he doesn't really have anything that creates sympathy for you. And then I have another villain, Dooku. If it weren't for Tales of the Jedi, Dooku would probably not even be on the list in
Yeah.
my eyes. But Tales of the Jedi, as far as creating sympathy for villains, that's what that did for Dooku in terms of experiencing his turn to the dark side, mainly because of the death of Qui-Gon and how he thought it was unnecessary, which in a sense, most of the audience can agree with. Why do you think Qui-Gon really did have to die? Could have just maybe it was because Padme was so reluctant on letting Naboo go or whatnot, but it's something that happened, and he was kind of just manipulated because of that, and that's how that was. And then we have Padme and Hera, which I want to talk about quite a bit. The reason why Hera's on the list for me is because, along with Leia, in a sense, who is also on my list but higher, to me, she's the ideal rebel leader in a sense of growing up wanting to fly, maybe for the Republic, but not really wanting to fly all your childhood, and then being able to fly for a cause that you believe in, because the Empire basically, as we saw in season one of the Bad Batch, season one of the Bad Batch, Hera and her family were basically like persecuted by them, to a sense where it makes sense that she became such a prominent figure. And the same with Padme, but like in the prequel standpoint of like always fighting for the moral and the good in terms of the Senate arcs in the Clone Wars. Very interesting. If it weren't for the Clone Wars, I don't think Padme would be as high either, because in the prequel trilogy, she was kind of just there to be attractive. LOL. But
Real. It
yeah,
worked.
yeah, and then Din Djarin. Din Djarin to me, I've always compared him to Han Solo, but the reason why I don't think he's better is because I don't think he's as relatable as Han Solo. Is what it is.
Yeah.
About how you're
Yeah.
a supernatural warrior in a clan. Nobody can really relate to that. That's kind of just a Star Wars thing that you could only apply to them. Um, but he's a great character, going from like a careless bounty hunter to someone who like cares for someone really deeply, and not necessarily wants to strive to make his people better. Well, he wants to strive to make his people better, just not necessarily in a leadership role, which I think was a great arc for him. And then very excited to see what the Mandalorian and Grogu movie has in store. That's gonna be
Yeah,
great.
definitely.
Yeah, gonna be a great one. So let's hear
All
your
right.
15 through 11. Let's hear it.
So my 15 through 11. Number 15, I have Qui Gon Jinn. Number 14, I 14, yeah. Number 14, I have Boba Fett. Number 13 is Han Solo. Number 12 is Cad Bane. And number 11 is Grease Dritus. So,
Ah, bias,
uh,
bias.
look at all
Hear
that
me, hear
bias.
ye.
Look at all that. I had to put him in there. I almost put fives in instead of him, but I was like, I have to put Grease because
Instead of
that would
him,
be
he's number 11.
that would have to I have to put him in, knowing myself, right? So, we'll start with Qui Gon. I think Qui Gon. I'm beating a dead horse here because everybody says this, but he's a model Jedi. I think he uses the Force and acts as a Jedi should. And I think he's one of the actual good things about the Phantom Menace. I think Liam Neeson is a really charismatic actor. Um, and I think Qui Gon's great. Obviously, Duel of the Fates was great. Qui Gon just a great Jedi, um, and just an all around good character. So number 14, Boba Fett. Boba Fett was in your honorable mentions. The reason Boba Fett sneaks up for me, one because he's super iconic, um, and two because he's just badass, man. It's Boba Fett. Like, Boba Fett is so cool, and that coolness factor is something that I don't think any other Star Wars character has ever like even come close to. What Boba Fett had and kind of still has, and he came back in Mando season 2, and I think he's really cool. And I think his show was terrible, um, but I still think he's just so great. Whenever I see Boba Fett on screen, I can't help but smile, and I think that's a rare quality that he has. So my
Such
number,
as in Jedi Survivor. Spoiler alert.
yeah, there you go. Well, you had like 9 months to play the game, so there you go.
To get that PS5 and play the game, bro.
There you go. Get going. Um, so number 13 for me is Han Solo, which I think it's a little bit lower than your Han Solo. But Han Solo is still above Din Djarin for me, for basically the same reason as you. He's much more relatable, and I think he's an even more likable character. Um, Similar thing to Boba here, not quite as much, but everybody just loves Han Solo. He's a cool guy. He has so much charisma. And I think his arc in the original trilogy is really great. I think they make him a little bit of a bumbling buffoon towards like the second half of Return of the Jedi. But the Endor sequence, I think he's a little like he steps on a branch. Like, come on, he steps.
Yeah.
I think I think he gets turned a little silly towards the end of the Endor sequence. I think he loses a little bit of his gravitas, but He's great in Force Awakens too. Actually, I want to say that. I think
Yeah.
I like him in Force Awakens too. I don't know why he went back to being a smuggler, but my son left
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, I get
Anyways,
that.
I think Han is great.
Get to
I
talking
don't think
about
anybody's
Grease Dritus now, bro. Explain
okay.
yourself.
Okay. 12 is Cad Bane, right? Cad Bane, my personal favorite bounty hunter. So that spoils it. There's gonna be no other bounty hunters on the list. Cad Bane, I love him. I think he's really powerful. I think he's really cool. Um, and what about him, man? He's got a decent character. I will say he doesn't get much development in terms of that, but he wants to hear about Grease Dreadis, so we're moving on. Number
Well,
11.
you don't greatest bounty hunter. You don't have Greedo on the list, bro. Greedo from
No, I don't
Exodus.
have Embo on the list. I'm sorry. So, number 11 is Grease Dreadis. I know this is really high, but the only reason he is so high is because I just love him. There's no other reason. It's
He
not because
he
he's a
he
great
is
character.
he is on
It's
the Xbox profile picture. That's the only
it's
reason.
look, he's on the Discord profile picture too. Look at that. So I I just the only reason he's here, I love him. I think he's really cool. I don't think he doesn't look cool. He doesn't have a great character arc, but he resonates with me so much. I don't know what I literally am Grease Dritus. I don't know what it is. He hits with me. Um, and I think he gets a little bit more to do in Survivor as opposed to Fallen Order. It was tough being a Grease fan before Survivor came out because he like had nothing in that game. He had like one talk about like gambling with Cal, but other than that, he had nothing. So I think he gets a little bit more in Survivor. But
he provided Cal with the gambling hotline and then stopped talking.
he did. He was like, "You got to turn away, kid. You got to repent." So Grease is just I just love Grease. It's not rational. It's not a rational placement. He shouldn't be on this list, but he is because it's my list. It's my list.
And we're doing this for content, right?
Content.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the top 10.
Here we go.
My number 10, I have Ezra Bridger. Number 9, I have Qui-Gon Jinn. Number 8, I have Cassian Andor. Number 7, I have Leia Organa. And number 6, I have Han Solo. Let me talk about Ezra because I have a feeling he's a character that might not be on your list. I didn't really
I
consider.
had him in honorable mentions.
Oh, I guess I forgot. I didn't really consider him to be a fantastic Jedi until I guess like the finale of Rebels. I think is when he becomes like a really like true Jedi in the sense of like he does the duty of one.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then probably a line that I think what defines the character for him is actually a line from Ahsoka when they do the holo recording in the first episode. The line that he says is, "As a Jedi, sometimes you have to make the decision that no one else can," and I think that's what defined him in the Rebels finale, and I think that's what defines his perspective as a Jedi because the only other Jedi that probably shared that perspective, like very clearly to the audience, is his master Kanan Jarrus, which makes total
Yeah,
sense. Then I have Qui Gon. Qui Gon, model Jedi, like you said, nothing real different. Um, what makes Qui Gon so high for me is because if he were to survive the Phantom Menace, then everything would be very different.
that's why it's
Um,
Duel of the Fates. Yeah,
it was it's been commonly explained by Star Wars theory. Shout outs to you. You're my best friend.
Star Wars
Um,
theory
that the
breaks the
dang
screws.
that the Jedi that Palpatine actually feared the most was Qui Gon Jinn, and then when he ended up, going, his plan was basically in full swing. So yeah, it's more of the impact factor of why I think Qui Gon is so
For
high.
sure,
Plus
for
I
sure.
think he's just really cool. Cassian Andor. If it wasn't for his own show, he wouldn't be nowhere near the list. I'm gonna say it because
Absolutely not. He would
it
be
in Rogue
bottom.
in Rogue One, he was not a very memorable character. I think Jyn Erso was definitely a lot more memorable than him. But
Yeah,
as far as relatability factor, if we were strictly talking about relatability, I think Cassian would probably be like a lot higher, despite him killing people. You don't want to
he's
relate to
very
that.
grounded and down to earth for sure.
Yeah. As far as like not really caring, he has the same perspective as Han Solo. As far as like not really caring about anything, and then realizing that you have a much greater impact on the galaxy than you may think. And I think Cassian was the perfect portrayal for that sort of development and arc. Uh, and then I have Leia and Han. Uh, Han Solo was the template of the reluctant hero, which is I heard Freddie Prinze Jr. talk about this when he was talking about George Lucas on a podcast multiple years ago, where he made that epic rant. You've probably seen this video. It's actually a hilarious
I
rant.
think I have. I think I have.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, about light and darkness, and then Han Solo is basically in the middle as far as A New Hope goes. And then
Yeah.
I do think his movie also elevates the character because in his movie he's portrayed as a very optimistic hero who wants to learn about the galaxy, who wants to like be like great, and then he gets betrayed by someone he loves at the end, and then he kind of just transitions into like someone that's like careless and like like overly cocky and foolish in A New Hope, and then he sort of gets brought back into it by mainly Luke Skywalker, but also to a more recent sense Leia too. But yeah, uh, I was honestly there's a big gap for me as far as 6 through 10, and then my top five, because top five
Same.
I think are like 10 out of 10 in terms of like relatability and aesthetic as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, how about your six? How about your top 6 through 10?
Yeah. So I will say our 6 through 10s are quite a bit different. I don't think we have any overlap here. Um. So my number 10 is Kanan Jarrus. My number 9 is R2D2. Number 8 is Rex. Number 7 is Ahsoka Tano, and number 6 is Yoda. So number 10, Kanan Jarrus. Um, Kanan Jarrus is great. Another sort of model Jedi, I guess you could say. Sort of similar to Qui Gon. Although I would say Kanan's relatability factor is quite a bit higher. I think he has. I think he's a very likable character, and I think he has a great arc. Similar with Ezra, not a similar arc to Ezra, but a similarly good arc in terms of quality. And I think, especially with his sacrifice, I think if he didn't sacrifice himself in season 4, spoiler alert, you're like 8 years late. I think he would have been not even on the list. But I think the whole Jedi Knight episode was so beautiful, and I
I
think
was
his
watching
arc
from
in
Disney XD. The more you
yeah,
know.
me too, me too,
Recorded it on
me too.
cable.
I'm not that young. I'm not that. I did watch Disney XD. Had to
Yeah.
download those episodes. Anyways,
I was also coded. I was also old enough for Cartoon Network. The more
yeah,
you
he
know.
he watched he watched Clone Wars on Cartoon Network. That's old. So, um, yeah, Kanan, great character. I think his sacrifice is great. I think his whole arc with season 3 and 4 with Bendu and learning to accept him, his blindness, his disabledness is great. So, number 9, R2D2. Um, I think he's the most iconic droid. It's obviously between him and 3PO, but I think R2 is miles more enjoyable to watch. And I think he is so instrumental to the Skywalker saga. He deserves to be this high. I mean, he's been a loyal companion to our protagonists through all 9 movies. Although I will say, they cut back on him way too much in the sequels. They like he had nothing to do. So
Hey,
I'm not a fan of that.
roly poly droid though, right? Roly poly.
Yeah. He was kind of in episode 8. He was kind of there, like on Act
Hey,
2. But
hey,
other than that,
I'm gonna say, episode 9, Ray says never underestimate a droid, and R2 didn't do anything.
yeah,
You
and
gotta
yet
keep it
she
100.
left R2. He was all he was just like he was like the nurse for Leia as she was dying. That's all he did. So
Yep.
even though she
Yep.
was already dead. So, anyways,
Yep.
we don't want to talk about the sequels. So R2 just based on pure iconicness and just his pure importance to the saga, he's so lovable. I think R2 is just great. Um, Number 8 is Rex. I think Rex is by far and away the best clone in terms of like character wise. You might disagree with that, but I think he is extremely likable and relatable. And I think he has some great moments in the Clone Wars. Um, I think obviously the Siege of Mandalore arc is great, and he gets some cool stuff in Order 66 with that. Um, and I think how he develops his relationships with Anakin and Ahsoka, especially, is really great. And I love his loyalty and just he brings out all these great qualities of a clone. Um, and we get to see so much of him, which is what I love. Is he moves on? He's in Bad Batch. He's in Rebels. So I think it is a little
Yep.
unfair that we get more development for him. So next up, Ahsoka Tano. I don't think this is a surprise to anybody. Ahsoka is a great character. She has some of the most development of any Star Wars character, just due to the fact to screen time. She gets a lot more. She gets a lot to do. As everybody knows, everybody hated
Yep.
her seasons 1, a little bit of 2, but it was all part of the master plan of our Lord and Savior Dave Filoni. And she turns into this great warrior who's compassionate and is a great Jedi. Um, and something I love about her, it's like no one likes the Coruscant sister arc. I don't even remember the name of the arc in season 7, but I love the
Yep.
line at the end when they're like, "You may not be a Jedi, but you're what a Jedi should be," right? Or something along that line, something along those lines. And I think that's
Yep.
really great. And I think she also gets a good arc in Ahsoka. I think a lot of people make the argument she doesn't have anything to do in Ahsoka, but I think, especially with the Shadow Warrior episode, she kind of comes back to herself. I think Ahsoka's great. I've been yapping too much. So number 6, Yoda, last one. Me personally, I just really like Yoda. This is going to be higher than most people will probably put him, but he is, in my opinion, probably the most powerful Jedi in the time of the prequel era. Luke probably became stronger than him, but I'm not here to start debates. But Yoda is great. I think that same mystery you were talking about when you talked about him works in his favor on my hand. I think that adds to his character. I don't ever want an explanation for like where he comes from because that would kind of ruin it. I think that mystery is part of his character. I think how old he is part of that. Um, but I do like that he gets some stuff to do in the prequels. I love his fight with Palpatine. I think it's phenomenal. Um, I think his stuff in Clone Wars is phenomenal. And I like when he's a nut job in the original trilogy. So Yoda's pretty sick. Yoda's number
Yeah.
6.
All right. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and say our top fives together. I'll go first, you go second, and then
5.
we'll have like free discussion after that because I have a feeling they're going to be similar. So my top five. Number 5, I have Ahsoka Tano. Number 4, I have Anakin Skywalker slash Darth Vader. Number 3, I have Obi Wan Kenobi. Number 2, I have Cal freaking Kestis. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And then number 1, I have Luke Skywalker.
All right. So my list is actually very similar to yours except for one, but it's the order's mixed up. My
Yep.
number 5 is Cal freaking Kestis.
Yes,
My
sir.
number 4 is
Yes,
Luke
sir.
Skywalker. My number 3 is Kenobi. My number 2 is Maul, and my number 1 is Anakin slash Vader.
Interesting, interesting, interesting. All right. So first character I want to talk about, Cal Kestis. Cal Kestis is very similar to quite a few Jedi in the sense of like he has a very bright light spot at the beginning, and then he has a very dark phase. Uh, he's just there's this dichotomy that separates the two Jedi games. In Jedi Fallen Order, he starts out as a Jedi that has nothing. He doesn't want anything to do with the Empire, and he wants to just hide out. And then at the beginning of the Survivor, he feels this pull that it would just be bad if he were to go
An
back into hiding and
obligation.
do nothing. Um,
Yeah.
Something that I thought about with Cal, and I realized that there's no Jedi that actually hasn't really done this, is that he acknowledges that he feels like dark side tendencies to the point where there's a cutscene where he tells Marin that there might be a point where I just snap and like turn to the dark side. I need you to like help me out if that
Yeah.
happens, and it ends up happening, which is not something that we've seen in many other Jedi. And plus, his aesthetic. I mean, the aesthetic is just like so cool, and the fact that you play as him in a video game, I think, also is what brings him.
Exactly.
That's my guy right there. That's my guy. Yeah. Plus ponchos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then yeah, we got other similarities. We have Anakin. What place did you say you had him? I had him at number 4. You had him
I had
at
him one.
number 1. Yeah. Anakin. Honestly, the reason why he's, I think the only reason why he's not number 1 for me, the gap between 1 through 5 to me is like insanely small. I will say. Uh,
Yeah.
I think the reason why he's not number 1 for me is honestly just because I think the other characters are just slightly cooler. I gotta say. But he does have that. He is the sort of definition of redemption arc in Star Wars, and like no other character really like compares when it comes to it. Um, which is that it factor that I do think Anakin has. Besides, him being like the center of Star Wars itself.
Yeah.
And then Luke. I had Luke as my number 1 because mainly because uh, he basically though it's not common knowledge, he basically was like the true chosen one because Anakin wouldn't have fulfilled the prophecy of the chosen one if it wasn't for Luke. And it's actually what Obi-Wan did say in Rebels when Maul ends up dying. He asks him if he's the chosen one, and he assures him yes. And he ends up fulfilling Maul's promise of avenging what was lost, and yeah, ended up being the fall of the Sith, and then the emergence of the Sith, and even in the Last Jedi, he makes a big mistake, but like there's always all Jedi that makes that one big mistake. For Obi-Wan,
Yeah.
it was not tending to Anakin in Revenge of the Sith, and Yoda, and for someone like Mace Windu specifically, it was being overly judgmental with Anakin. Usually for most Jedi in the prequel trilogy, it has something to do with Anakin Skywalker, and then
Yeah.
for Luke, it has to do with someone in his family in the name of Ben Solo, of course.
Except Qui Gon,
So
he's perfect.
yeah,
He
that's
just
my guy
died.
right there. Yeah, let's talk about your top 5, and then we'll be good.
Yeah, so for me, Cal Kestis, if anything, I almost regret putting him number 5. I think he could have been number 2, even number 1 for me.
That's
I
my
just,
guy.
I freaking love Cal Kestis. Um, I mean, he's on my wall, man. I think he's
I have his
just,
lightsaber.
just,
Yes, sir.
just a, let's go. Just a phenomenal character. I mean, I got a bunch of his stuff all over that you can't see. But I think his character arc, specifically in Fallen Order, is something that just resonated with me so much. I think he had such a beautiful story in that game, and I think it just gets his character just gets added onto in Survivor. Um, and
Yeah,
I think it's super cool because like you're literally him, you're literally playing him, so it's like he kind of gets an edge over some other characters. Um, Sorry, Iden Versio, you're not on here. Um, I think he's. Um, I just I could talk about Cal all day. I mean, I played
Mm.
so much Fallen Order. I played that game until my fingers are broken. So,
Yeah,
I love him. I love his character. I love BD1, but he's not going to be on here. Um, and yeah, Cal's
tough.
great. My number four is Luke. Again, Luke could have been higher. That's everything about this top five. Is any of them could be any place for me. It just kind of
It's
depends
all
my mood.
interchangeable with debate.
It kind of just it kind of just depends my mood, honestly. Right now, like I wrote this list a couple hours ago. If I was doing this now, I would have moved this around. So it really just depends. My number four is Luke Skywalker. Um, Obviously, Luke Skywalker is like the Star Wars character besides Darth Vader. Um, like you said, he basically fulfills that prophecy. Um, and one thing I do want to say though about Kenobi saying he is the chosen one, I think that also shows to the fact how Kenobi has let go of Anakin and let go of that idea that Anakin was destined to bring balance to the Force. But he was mistaken, of course, him and Yoda both. Um, Love Luke. I think his we talked about this before. It hasn't been uploaded, but I think his character arc is really beautiful. I think his character arc in Last Jedi is really great. Him coming back to the Jedi and becoming essentially like the ultimate Jedi. He saves everybody without harming anyone, and I think that was really beautiful. Really beautiful arc for him. Um, and just it's Luke Skywalker, man. Great character. Love to see it. Number three is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Um, Obi-Wan is Obi-Wan. He's an awesome Jedi. He's kind of a model Jedi. He is flawed, but that's sort of part of him. Is he makes these mistakes, but he's very level-headed, and he's very strong in his belief in the Jedi Code and his belief in the Jedi. And I think that's what's really great about Obi-Wan. Is he tries his best. Obi-Wan is always working hard to be the best Jedi that he can be, and I think that's really
Yeah,
great. Um, yeah, I mean, his show wasn't great, but the bits we got with him and Anakin were pretty good. So Kenobi, there you go. Number two, I had Maul, which is not on your list at all.
no.
Maul aesthetically is like the coolest Star Wars character.
Hmm.
Um, and I've always loved Maul since I was a little kid. And I think that his arc in Clone Wars is great. I think his episodes in both season 4 and season 5 were really great. Um, Especially that season 5 Mandalore arc was really good. And then he's in season 7 too, where he beats Ahsoka. I want to put that he disarmed her. He beat her.
Yeah, yeah. Disney
So
princess.
yeah, Disney princess over. Well, of course it's Maul. He's gonna be cocky and he's gonna go in there and
Yeah.
he lost even though he disarmed her. He had it. He sold.
He didn't listen to Han Solo in Battlefront 2.
No, he didn't. Probably because he probably heard the solo actor voice line. So Maul, I love. He's so cool, dude. Double blade. He was like the first character to introduce different styles of lightsaber, and I think that's really cool about him.
I will
Maul,
say,
cool arc.
if I
Yeah, go ahead.
if I were if I were to revise my list, I spent like an hour on it. But if I were to revise my list, he'd probably be in like my bottom 10, 11 through 20. His aesthetic is really good. His his aesthetic is really good. His importance is relatively good, but the brother is not relatable, and that was just important
No,
to me. So
for sure, for
that's why it
sure.
wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, for Maul, like Um, I personally love him, so that boosted him up here. I think he's really cool in Rebels too. I think I love what Sam
Yeah.
Witwer does with voice towards Rebels, and I love his death. It's very beautiful and poetic. But everybody and their mother has talked about that scene,
But but
so
Maul
we're not going to talk about that.
but Maul's gonna come back in Ahsoka though, right?
Yeah, yeah, like Star Wars theory says. What? The magic wasn't Maul. It was some Night Sister
They just
resurrection.
brought
That was so stupid.
zombie stormtroopers. Yeah,
Zombie
that went
stormtroopers
well.
and no Maul.
Yeah.
Dude, Star Wars series is such a joke. Oh my goodness. Number one, Anakin
Such a
Vader.
scary.
This is very understandable. I don't think anybody would ever be mad at you for doing this. I think what could pull Anakin down a little bit is that in the prequels, he is not the most likable character, and his character arc isn't fully fleshed out. But that's where the Clone Wars comes in and fills in the gaps. The prequels are sort of like milestones in his development and his arc, and to actually get the full context, you have to watch the shows. And I think if you do, it's really great. And then there's also the factor aesthetically, where Darth Vader is really freaking cool. Darth Vader is next to Boba Fett, the most iconic Star Wars character. Um, and it's Anakin. Everything revolves around him. How could he not be in your top five?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, the only other thing I will say about Anakin, another thing that kind of dragged him down for me is because I feel like prequel Anakin and Clone Wars Anakin almost seem like polar opposites of characters as far as
True,
personality.
true.
As
I
Anakin
think
being
if
like
they,
the little shy and
yeah,
laid back, which I do think he does. That I think Hayden did a very good job at Ahsoka as far as like adapting to like the now Matt Lanner
sort of
Anakin,
mixing
combining
it.
it with his old one. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that is something that did happen. So it kind of just dragged it down for me personally. But he is still a top five character without question. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if they would have had Hayden as the voice, it would have been a little more distinct. But they purposely wanted the separation. Same thing with Kenobi. They wanted a different voice actor to
Yep.
sort of start bridging the gap to A New Hope. But those are
Agreed.
our lists, guys.
Yeah. Yep. So that's our list, edited within the timestamps. If I ended up doing those, but you'll see them five at a time. I think I'm hearing the bell. I think it is
Ding ding
time
ding, ding
for
ding
our
ding
short
ding,
segments.
ding ding
Let's
ding.
get into it.
Short.
So diabolical. I need you to name me the top 10 highest rated episodes of Star Wars The Bad Batch according to IMDb.
Dude, why does he do this to me every time? All right, top five rated,
Top 10. My
top
bad.
10 rated Bad Batch episodes. Um, so this is gonna be a stretch for me, man. I haven't. I'm gonna put this out there. I have not rewatched Bad Batch yet, so I only have the base memory.
Oh,
Um,
interesting. He didn't
so
he
I'm
didn't
gonna
study.
start off. Yeah, I'm gonna start off with. Can I get the premiere?
Yeah, Aftermath is tied for number 4.
Okay.
And I will
Oh
say
yeah. Can I get?
I will say this is actually a top 11 instead of top 10 because there is a tie for
Tie.
number
Okay.
9. Yeah.
Okay. Can I have a solitary clone?
The Solitary Clone is tied for number 6.
Okay. And then truth and consequences. Can I get that?
Very nice. That is number 3.
Ooh, number three. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Um, can I get the clone conspiracy?
Yes, sir. That is number 8.
There you go. Look at that. Okay, the outpost. Give me the outpost.
The Outpost is tied for number 1 with another episode.
Okay. Okay. You're tied with another episode. What could that be?
I will say it's an episode that you might not expect to be this highly rated.
Hmm. Um. Oh, can I get reunion?
Reunion is tied with the Solitary Clone at number 6. Yeah.
Okay, reunion. There we go. Uh,
Yeah. So you
uh
have one, two, three,
camera's
four,
not
five.
focused.
You have 5 left to go.
My camera's not focusing, so you're gonna get a blurry camera for a second.
A blur code.
Focus. Yeah, there I am. Look at me, all blurry. So great.
We're
Okay.
not trying to see your big ass nose.
Yeah, all right, bro. Um,
What will he guess
can
next?
I
And
get
The rest of the list is pretty straightforward, I would say. Like
Okay,
they're
can I get Battle
very
Scars?
Battle Scars is tied for number 9.
All right. Look at how blurry I am. Focus, dude. It won't focus. All right.
This is going on
So,
shorts.
ah, look at this. Is not going on shorts, dude. You see this? This is not going on shorts. Look at this. All right. So,
Get a good webcam. Get a job. No.
dude, I have it's a decent webcam. It just won't focus. All right. Can I get into? I'm just kidding. I'm not doing it tuned. Can I get
Entombed is
Metamorphosis?
Metamorphosis is a good guess, but it is not here. It's probably one of the first episodes off though.
Okay. Okay. Can I get? Is that the right one? Hmm. Can I get the Summit?
The Summit is another one tied for number 9.
Okay. I'm tempted to say this one. I don't know if it's right. Can I get the tipping point?
Not the tipping point, no.
Okay, not the tipping point.
So
I'm just
remaining
trying to remember what these episodes are.
you have 3 episodes remaining. One of them tied for first place, another one tied for 4th, and another one tied for 9th.
Tied for first place. I'm surprised I'm not getting that.
Two of them are actually no. One of them is from season 2, and then 2 of them are from season 1.
One of them's from season 2. Okay, one of them's from season 2. That's interesting.
You've named most of the good season 2 episodes, and plus your camera is finally focused.
It is. It is. Look at that. Can I get? This is risky. It's. I think it's between episodes 1, 2, and 6. Can I get Tribe?
Not Tribe, no.
Okay. Can I get Ruins of War?
Not Ruins of War. Think the latter half.
The latter half. Okay.
Yeah.
And
that's
I
gonna be
don't think
broad.
it's gonna be the Crossing or Retrieval.
It is not.
Maybe
no.
it's the Crossing. Probably not Pabu. Can I get Plan 99?
Plan 99 is tied for number 1. Yes.
There we go. Okay, interesting. Because I know that
9
ending with
9.1
that
out of 10.
really, because I know that finale. A lot of people didn't care for too much. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so we're back to season 1 now.
Tied for number 4.
There's a lot of good episodes.
There
Can
are
I
a
get
couple that you haven't named it though.
Yeah, can I get Bounty Lost?
Not Bounty Lost. You are in the right half of the season though.
Okay, I'm in the right half of the season. That's good to know. I'm just trying to remember what some of these episodes like. I don't remember what happened in Common Ground.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. It's the one where Omega learned chess. I know that.
One of these episodes I think is very memorable. Very memorable.
Can I get Rescue on Ryloth?
Not Rescue on Ryloth.
Or
no.
Devil's Deal?
Not Devil's Deal. This episode is very iconic for a particular reason.
It's very iconic.
It's sort of an end of something. An end of a particular loved place.
Oh, Camino Lost. I don't even think about the finale.
Not Camino Lost, but
okay, Return to Camino.
It is Return to Camino, and then and then you have one more, tied for number 9.
Okay, this could go many different ways. I'm thinking, can I get War Mantle?
It is War Mantle. Good job.
Oh, nice. Let's go. Pop Smoke. Name me the top 5 oldest Star Wars characters.
It's actually shady, but okay.
Oh, my bad.
Can I get Yoda?
Yeah, Yoda's number 4.
Number 4.
At 900 years old. 900 years old.
You might kill me with this.
I told you this might be a little difficult.
Is Chewbacca here?
No, he's not.
What about Chieftain Tarful?
No Wookiees are on this list.
Oh gosh. Dang. Okay, this is gonna be tough. What about man?
Think of ones that are outspoken about being old.
What's the minimum age that you have to be on this list?
So the number 5 is 604.
604.
And the
Oh
top,
no.
I'll tell you, the top one, you're probably going to get this when I say it. The top one is eons old.
What the heck, man? This better not
It's a
be on here,
pretty
but I'm gonna.
obvious.
This better not be here, but I'm gonna guess. Is it are the Mortis gods here?
It is. It's number one.
What? Okay,
The Mortis cats. All right.
and that's just like collectively number one.
Yeah, all three of them.
Okay. What about Oppo Rancisis? Is he here?
He was number 6. It was very close, but he's not
Oh
in the
man.
top 5. Yeah.
Hmm.
604 is the lowest.
What's the source material for these last three characters?
So, one of them is in. I'll tell you the number 5 is makes an appearance in a cameo in the prequels, appears in the Clone Wars, and is in the original trilogy.
Is in the original trilogy, and it's not Yoda.
It's not Yoda, no.
What the heck is this then? Um, well, it's not Alec Guinness's old butt. He's not in
Actually, you know what? It's not. Wait, it might be. It kind of is in Clone Wars, but it's also in the Clone Wars movie as well.
the Clone Wars movie. Oh, is is it Jabba the Hutt?
Yeah, there you go. Jabba
Okay,
the Hutt
okay.
is number 5 at 604 years old.
For some reason,
So
the original trilogy hint wasn't ringing any bells for me, but then I got that.
that's
Yeah,
interesting. Okay,
yeah.
so you have number 2 and number 1. No,
What?
number 2 and number 3. Your
Okay.
number 3 was in the sequel, was in all 3 sequel movies, and your number 2 was
Interesting.
in 2 shows, was in Clone Wars and Ahsoka.
It was in all three sequel movies. Oh well, Clone Wars and Ahsoka. That's Huey. That's Hu Yang for sure.
There you go. He
Yeah.
was born in, or he was made in 25,020 BBY.
That. Yeah, that's crazy.
There you
And
go.
then all three sequel movies.
Yeah.
And what else did you say he was in?
The
Uh,
number 3 is only in the 3 sequel movies.
really? Huh. Um.
Come on, man.
Oh, is it Snoke?
No, no.
That's not Snoke. Why is that not ringing any bells? I should be able to get this. It's
Think about
not.
what you're wearing.
What red?
No.
What? Oh, shade. Oh, shades. Oh, Mascanada.
There you go, Maz Kanata.
Okay.
She's
Okay, that was
1,008 years old in Rise of Skywalker.
that was a good hint. Yeah. Okay. Christian McCodefree, I'm gonna name you a Star Wars quote, and you need to tell me who said it. Ready?
Okay.
All right. I have to face it, Master. Whether he dies or I do, this ends today.
I'm supposed to know that one. I'm supposed to know that one. What? Am I bugging?
This comes from a main character of a specific project, like the main character.
Am I tripping? Wait, I have to face it.
I'll say it
Whether
again.
he does.
I have to
Wait, can
face
you?
I have to face him, Master. Whether he dies or I do, this ends today.
Oh, is it Ezra?
Not Ezra, but it is a Jedi, of course.
It's Kenobi.
Yeah, it's Obi-Wan. There you go.
Yeah, in the Kenobi show. Yeah.
Yeah. There is no justice, no law, no
It's
order,
Maul.
except for the one that will replace it. Yeah. All right.
All it was there's no law
Yeah. In my experience, just when you think you
on.
understand the Force, you realize how little you actually know.
Wait, is that
Ready?
actually Han? Wait.
No, it's not
No, it's
Han.
not. It's not Han.
It's not
Wait,
Han.
when you understand the force. Oh, is it is that one canon?
It's not Kanan, but you're very close.
In my experience, when you learn the force,
It is from Rebels.
is it Bendu then?
It's not Bendu. You're very close
I'm
though.
tripping.
It is from Rebels. It's
Is
from
it?
Rebels
Is it a?
season 2.
Oh, maybe it's Ahsoka.
It is Ahsoka. Yep.
Okay,
From yep. There are many wars, but little honor to be won from them.
that's Ravis.
Ravis, that's right. All right, last one. As you get older, you look at history and you realize it's all inevitable. It repeats again and again and again.
I've heard this. I know I have this one on the tip of my tongue. I've heard this one multiple times before. I have a feeling this is like something I have a feeling I'm gonna draw a blank on this one. Um, Something about history repeating itself. Is that Is this from Andor?
Not from Andor. It is from a live action show, though. Oh.
What? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, back. Sorry. Well, we'll just cut it. You just cut
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All right. So,
As you get
um,
older, you look at history and you realize it's all inevitable. It repeats again and again and again.
um, the thing that's confusing me about this is because I recognize the quote very clearly, but I can't place a face on it. Whew, dude. Um, um. So it's very clear. It's somebody talking to somebody less experienced than them. Um.
Correct. You're on the right trail.
Um. Hmm. My got me with this one, man. Um. My camera's out of focus again. Oh my goodness. Time for a new webcam. Jeez. Why does it keep doing that?
Are
Hold
we
on. I'm gonna
do we
unplug
want
it. Plug it back in.
do
Let
we
me
want to
cook.
do we want to give a guess or are we throwing the towel?
Um. I'll give it another shot. I'll give it one more shot. Dude, I actually don't know why I don't know this
It's a
because
very
I sh-
it's a very obscure quote for a particular reason, but if I gave you this hint, it would definitely give it away.
I recognize this. Is this Dooku? Like Tales of the Jedi or something?
Not Dooku.
Okay, what is it?
It's Balin's skull.
Oh, that's where I've heard it. Because
Yeah,
I was in,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Smoked salmon. Name me these 5 Star Wars quotes. So, first one coming up. Of course I'm afraid, but there's a difference between fear and losing your nerve.
Oh wow, that is a yeah. That's a I've heard this one like a lot,
You
but
definitely have.
yeah. Is this Ezra?
No, no, it's not.
No. How do I not know this? Oh man. Oh my goodness. Why am I stuck on this? This
I
is
think it's me with this blanking.
yeah. Yeah. Brett, yeah, he took 10 minutes. He took like 10 minutes just about to get that
Just
nickname by the way. Yeah.
just to say smoked salmon. It's insane.
Yeah. What's the Oh gosh.
So it's from Andor.
It's Cassian.
Yeah,
That
there you go.
that's why I've heard it a lot. Yeah.
All
I
right.
think it's from the
Um.
I think it's from the High Star too, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Next one. Has anyone ever made a weapon that wasn't used?
Oh man, these are some good ones. Cuz they're hard.
I cooked. I cooked.
Yeah. Has anyone ever made a weapon that's never been used? That sounds like an Anakin quote.
Is that your guess?
Yeah, is this Anakin
No,
from Clone
no,
Wars?
no.
That's definitely something that is it ever made a weapon that's never is this a clone trooper?
No, it's not.
It's not.
I'll restate the quote. Has anyone ever made a weapon that wasn't used?
I actually haven't heard this too much, but I
I'll,
definitely recognize it.
I'll give you a hint. It's in a live action show.
Hmm. Is this someone from Mandalorian?
No,
No, it's not. Then it's probably Book of Boba Fett then. Is it Fennec Shand?
no.
No? All right, I'm gonna throw in the towel. Who is this?
That's Luthen.
Oh, it's Luthen. Oh, okay. I probably would have gotten that.
Yeah. Okay. So next one is a little bit easier. There's always a bit of truth in legends.
Ah, that's Ahsoka. Yeah, that's simple.
There you go.
Yep.
All right, and your
Shroud of
final
Darkness.
one here. Your final quote. I'm telling you, you'll never have a deeper sleep than curled up in a Wookiee's lap.
Is that this is from
It's
Solo.
okay. It's okay. You don't know their name.
This is from Solo for sure, right?
It's from Solo. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this Lando?
No.
Is this Beckett?
No.
Oh gosh. I don't Han didn't say this. I know that. If it's from Solo. What about oh man. I don't think it's Dryden Voss. What about Kira? Is it Kira?
Not here. No.
Oh my gosh,
Man.
who is this?
You want me to repeat it? I'm telling you, you'll never have a deeper sleep than curled up in a Wookiee's lap.
It's not Lando, it's not Kira, and it's not Beckett.
Think more obscure.
More obscure for Solo. Is it
Like
L3?
it's still a character that has like lines, but it's not like
Is it L3?
no.
It's not L3. Is it Dryden Voss?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Who
You might not know this character's name, but you'll know the character.
you definitely
They are
oh.
in the movie for like a solid like 20 minutes.
Oh my gosh. It's not it's not Enfys Nest.
No, it's not.
I'm gonna try to get one more guess off. What about oh it's Beckett's girlfriend, right? I don't even know her name.
It's not Beckett's girlfriend.
Okay, who is this?
It's Rio Durant, the Monkey Man.
Nobody knows his name.
The Monkey Man.
All right, next short we're gonna do. We each are gonna think of a Star Wars character, and we're gonna ask questions back and forth until one of us guesses the other character. So, yep. So obviously, you can do difficult, but not like difficult to the point where you
Not
wouldn't
like
know
obscure.
where you don't think you would know their name. Yep.
Okay, and we'll just go until the person gets it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All right.
All right.
I have my character.
Um,
Please don't take that long. Don't take as long
do
as you
I
need.
have my character? I don't know. Do I have my character? I have my
I got
character.
okay. All right. You ask first.
All right. Is this character a force user?
Yeah. Yeah. They are.
Okay.
Is your character? Does your character wield blasters?
No.
No.
Is your character a light side user?
Yes.
Okay.
Is your character in the prequel trilogy?
No.
Okay.
Is your character in the prequel trilogy?
No, he's not.
Mm,
Is
okay.
your character in a movie?
No.
Okay.
Is your character in a is your character in a show?
No.
Oh,
Is
okay.
your character in an animated show?
No.
Uh,
Is your character in a video game?
yes. Is your character in a video game?
Yes.
Okay.
Is your character in the Jedi games?
Yes. Is
All
your
right.
character? I'm not gonna cook with this next one. Is your character in the Battlefront 2 campaign?
Yes, it's Luke Skywalker. I'm just kidding. No, not in the Battlefront 2 campaign. Um,
Uh,
is your character um it's in they're in the Jedi games. Is your character part of the Mantis crew?
no. Is your
Okay.
character in Jedi Survivor?
No. Is your character well, sorry, I'm tripping out. Um, is your character Gerald DePaul?
No.
Huh.
Is your
Interesting.
character is your is your character in Jedi Fallen Order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, so light your character is a light side user that is in the Jedi games. Um, uh, I don't know why. I should know this. I should
Yeah, you
definitely
don't.
know
You're
this.
you're you have like few options.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't. They're not part of the Mantis crew, and they're not Jero DePaul.
Yeah, this should be simple.
So I should know this immediately. I don't know why I'm bugging. Uh, oh, wait. Why am I tripping out? Is your character a Jedi?
Yes.
Okay.
You already asked if they're a force wielder, but
I know. I
uh,
wanted to make sure. I don't know why I can't think of them. I should know this.
is your character Croft?
No, my character is not prof. Um, yo, why don't I have this? Hold on. Why actually don't? Oh, is your character Cordova?
It is Dr. Eggman himself, Ano Cordova. Yeah. Well, who
There we
is your
go.
character?
My character was Terran Malicos.
Oh, okay, that was a good one. Yep. All
We
right.
both thought Jedi game, of course.
All right. Best of three.
Crazy.
Game number two.
All right.
Let me
Think
think
of
of
another
mine.
character.
Let me think of mine. Let me think of
Uh
mine. Okay. Oh, wait. Do I want to do that character? I don't think so. I think I want to do something else.
oh,
Yeah. Okay. I got my character.
I am yeah, I have my character too.
Okay. All right. I'll ask first. Is your character in a live action show?
No.
Okay.
Is your character in is your character a force user? I'll do that.
No. Is your
Okay.
character in an animated show?
No. Is your character in the the movies? A movie?
No.
Okay.
It is your character. Is your character is your character exclusive to a trilogy?
Yes. You might get this. Um is your character um is your character in the Clone Wars?
I
Oh,
have
you
to
had to
think
think
about.
about it.
I have to think about this.
Oh,
I don't think so.
that's
No.
that's not good. What character is it? It's
Actually,
like
yeah,
it might be in the
I'm
Clone
actually
Wars.
pretty sure. No, no, they're not.
Okay. So
Is your
they're
is your
not.
character
Okay.
is your character exclusive to the sequel trilogy?
Yes, you're gonna get this. Is your character uh is your character in a just in a show? I didn't guess that.
Yes.
Okay.
Is your character a villain?
No. Is your character is your character in is your character in a live action show?
Yes.
Okay.
Is your character a force wielder?
Uh no? Question mark? No.
Oh, okay. I
Is
think
your
I know.
nah, I'm just kidding. Um is your character you're gonna get it on the next one. I'm just thinking how there's not really much I can do. Um is your character in The Mandalorian?
No.
Okay. What's your
Is
guess?
is your character uh is your character in all three sequel movies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is your character in Andor?
No.
Oh,
Is
what
your
the heck?
character
Where's this character?
is your character Finn?
No.
Oh man.
Um, so not in Andor, not in Mando, not in Clone Wars. Um, it's like Rebels, or maybe Kenobi. Unless you choose Talia? Is your
Nah,
character
I
uh,
did not choose Tala.
is is your character in Rebels?
Yes.
Okay.
Is your character male?
No. Oh, you're gonna get this. Okay.
Oh, okay, I think I
Uh,
know.
is your character part of the Phoenix crew?
Yes. Is your character Maz
Okay.
Kanata?
Yeah. Dang it, I was one guess away.
Yeah.
What is it? Sabine or Hera or Zeb?
It's Chopper.
Ah, it's
Yeah.
Chopper. Dang.
Live action
All right,
show in
nice,
Rebels.
nice.
Yep. I had
All
to
right,
think it
good
because
matchbreaker.
I didn't remember if he was in the Clone Wars or not. I had to think of about it. But then I was thinking
That's
about the
crazy.
Bad Batch.
Yeah, you were thinking Bad Batch. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, game 2.
nice.
Think of one more character.
Um, one more character.
Wow.
I can't think of any characters now. I can't think of a single Star Wars character anymore.
For real.
None of them exist. None of them
Okay.
exist.
Okay, I
I'll
got
tell you
my
that now.
character.
Um, I'm choosing a character from Young Jedi Adventures, guys. Okay,
I
I
end the episode here.
okay, I have my character.
Okay. All right, you ask first since I won. I just won.
Okay. Um, is your character Force user?
Nope. Is your character a force
Okay.
wielder?
No. Is your character sentient, like a living being?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
not a droid is what you're asking. Yeah.
Yep.
Is your character a droid?
No.
Okay. That
Um,
narrows a lot down.
is your character in TV shows?
Yes.
Okay.
Is your character in movies or in a movie?
Yes. Is your character in an animated show?
Yes.
Okay.
Is your character in the Skywalker saga?
No. That
Okay.
was a good
Yeah.
guess.
Okay.
That was a good guess right there. All right. Is your character is your character that they're not a force user? Is your character a clone?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. There's so many.
Type a number. Not playing. uh, is your character in Rogue One?
No.
Okay.
Uh,
All
is
right.
your character is your character in Rebels?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, is your character is your character oh wait, no. I'm not going to ask that cuz you said he's not in the Skywalker saga. Is your character a villain?
No. No. My character is like a neutral character, I would say.
Okay, well you just gave me the answer, I think. Or you gave me
Okay.
two options.
Yeah, yeah. So right now it's basically between Wolf, Gregor, and Rex. Um, so I think, unless I'm missing somebody, is
No,
your
you're good. No, it's
character
Hauser. No, I'm playing.
is your character a wolf?
Yes, it is Wolf. Yeah. Is
There we
is your
go.
is your character Beckett?
No,
It's Kira.
my character was Rod of the Hut.
What? No, it's not.
From the Clone Wars movie.
Oh my gosh!
You didn't even think about the Clone Wars movie.
You trolled me. That doesn't. That's not a
Hey,
real
that
film.
was oh my bad. I forgot.
That's not
It's not a
canon.
real
No, plan.
movie.
All
It
right.
shouldn't be canon. We should just agree.
All right.
Hey, good
What?
work though.
All right. What else we got? We got time. It's only 9:41 for me. Let's do one more short.
All right, what do you want to do?
How about we do? How about we play a game? Well, I don't really want to do Hangman because that kind of just takes time to set up. We played Wavelength
Yeah.
last episode.
Um.
How about we play a game of 20 questions? One each. Think
Okay.
of a think of a thing, and then we'll be
All
done for the
right.
episode.
A game of 20 questions.
All right. You think of something first, and I'll ask questions so that you don't cook yourself, you don't burn yourself in the oven.
Crazy.
Crazy.
All right, I've got my thing.
All right. 20 questions. Ready, go. Is this thing in a movie?
Yes.
Is this thing in the original trilogy?
No.
Is this thing in the sequel trilogy?
Yes.
Is it exclusive to the sequel trilogy?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Is this thing a planet?
No.
Okay. Is this thing okay, I'm not gonna guess vehicle. I'm not gonna guess vehicle. That'd be a waste. Is it a character?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Is it a hero?
No.
No. Okay. Is it a force wielder?
No.
Is it General Hux?
No.
Is it so? It's a villain. It's not a hero. Is it a villain?
Um, they're not. I'll give you this. They're not part of the First Order, but they are antagonistic.
I have an idea. Is
Because
this
I
is
don't want to say no, but I also don't want to say yes.
is this character only in one movie?
Is this character only in one movie? I think so. Yeah, yeah. You know who this is.
Is this DJ?
No,
What?
no, it's not DJ.
Okay. Is this character in The Last Jedi?
No.
Okay. Well, I was thinking Master Codebreaker, but that's out of the door. Um, he's not part of the First Order, but he's like a villain, sort of. Oh, is this character in The Force Awakens?
Yeah,
Is this is this character based on Jakku?
yeah. There you go.
Is this Unkar Plutt?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
16.
Nice.
Go Platt right there.
He is exclusive
All
to one
right.
movie, by the way.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I will think of
Okay.
mine. How many questions was that? Like 10
It
or
was
like 11?
16.
16. Oh wow, I would. I'm
Yeah.
cooked. Okay. I
Yeah,
will
best
think of
character.
mine. Okay. Oh, that might be too cool. I was gonna think of Christophsis, the planet from the Clone Wars,
I
but
was gonna cook me this late. Seven
I'm
forty-five.
not
That's past my bedtime.
I'm not gonna do anything that difficult. I will do
Yeah, tell me what you're gonna do.
I will do this though. All right, let's go.
All right. Is your thing in a movie?
No.
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 Okay. You stuttered a bit.
I stuttered on one word.
Is yeah, well, no, because it like your screen stuttered. All right, your screen stuttered. So, is your thing a character?
No.
Okay. Is your thing a planet?
Yes.
Okay. Is your planet in a TV show?
Yes.
Okay. Is your planet
It is not
in?
Sefo.
I'm not gonna get stuck on Dathomir again. Is your planet in Clone Wars?
No.
No, not okay. That narrows it down for sure.
There's a
Okay,
lot
is
of
your
forgettable
planet in?
planets on that show. So I want to be that
Yeah,
villain.
yeah, that would have been tragic. Is your character in Rebels? Or sorry, your planet.
It is.
It is. Okay. Is your planet um is your planet in season 4?
Yes.
Is your planet lethal?
Yes.
There we go.
And
Look at that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is gonna do it for episode 2 of Ramblers Radio. Thank you all for joining us.
We here.
We're trying to get more traction. We're gonna get more action on YouTube Shorts and TikTok shortly
Get that short form up.
or longly. And I don't know. I don't know what it might be,
Yeah.
but
I'm the one editing the shorts, and the shorts will be up this week before this episode gets up. As long as
all
he
right.
doesn't edit like a madman.
All right, sounds good. All right, in that case, this episode will be up on Friday, February the 17th. Is that, or is it
Well, if
February?
you're watching this, it's already Friday the
It's
17th. So
Friday, February 16th is when this episode will be up.
16th. There you go.
It'll take a little bit longer to edit because it's 45 minutes longer than the previous episode, but
Oh
that's
yeah.
fine. We are going to talk about perhaps a new schedule for recording because something I noticed is that next week's episode, if we were to record on Monday, it would be a Bad Batch themed episode probably because it's 2 days before the premiere, and then
Yeah.
you guys will not be able to hear our reaction until like
Mhm.
5 days after. So that's something that
You
might
might
be on
want
the
to record
works.
on that.
That's
Yeah, we could
that's
talk
something that
about
might
that.
be on the works. Maybe, maybe not, but it'll be something. With that being said, we will see you guys again soon.
See ya.
Peace.